We have in total, as I mentioned, 9 campuses across the LA Community College District. In spring 2021, we had nearly 2,200 veterans and active duty military enrolled throughout LACCD's 9 campuses. Now, that number does not include all of our dependents and our spouses either. So between only veterans and active duty military, we have 2,200 students in spring 21. So at this point, I do want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for choosing LACCD to be a part of the education that we provide to students. And we are committed and dedicated and honored to be serving you at all of our campuses through our veteran services. So thank you for your service and for being a part of our family. So LACCD students may enroll in any of the 9 campuses. So let's say your home campus is ELAC. That could be your home campus, but you actually can also take classes anywhere else within our district without having to apply to another campus. You can take a course at West, you can take a course at City, anywhere else, and still have just one home campus. You can enroll into your courses through your LACCD student portal during the time of registration. And the schedule of classes will list the course location when you're searching for courses district-wide within the LACCD student portal. So I know that is actually something that has come up when I'm working with our students during our counseling appointments, where students are actually only searching at their home campus for open classes. So if you are to select the district-wide search, you'll see additional options come up for you across the entire district, in which case you can also, like I said, register into those as well. All 9 campuses offer veterans programs for LACCD enrolled military connected students. So who are we? Our LACCD Veterans Programs serve veterans, service members, and dependents. We are referred to as Veterans Resource Centers on our campuses, and sometimes we're Veteran Services on our campuses. All of us, however, provide academic support, we provide camaraderie, we provide wellness. Some of us have laptop loan programs, some of us have gift cards, some may offer scholarships. Some of us may be a one-stop shop where everything is all in one place. And some of us may actually work interdepartmentally with other departments to make sure that you receive your services. Each of us is unique in what we do offer, but if there is a resource that your campus may not offer, another one of our sister campus will be glad to offer that service as well. We offer VA certification for VA education benefits. All of us have school certifying officials, and all of us have counselors to help you develop your ed plan and know which courses you need to take to stay on track and complete your goals. We offer resources, on and off campus resources such as housing, food insecurities, employment, VA and CalVet benefits. We offer links as well to point of contacts within LA County veterans organizations where they can offer you the additional support that we may not be able to provide. So we do offer that handoff to another organization who will help. We also offer a veterans club. Veterans clubs offer the camaraderie and connection with peers. If you haven't visited your Veterans Resource Center or don't know about the veteran services, I strongly encourage you to seek them out, because you'll find all of these different services and so much more there at the campus where you attend. So to connect with us, you may want to I recommend actually that you take a picture of this page here. We're going to provide this to you as well later, but just so you have it, on your phone and you have a quick picture. This is your point of contact sheet for all of our campuses veterans programming. So you have our direct email addresses as well as our phone numbers. So please reach out to us, connect with us. We want to work with you. We want to help you. We want to make sure that you are receiving the services that you deserve and that we are ready and willing to offer to you. So at this point, I do want to ask if there are any questions that anyone may have. And let me look into the chat box and see if there's anything that did come in. Okay, and I don't see any. Now I do want to tell you there are some attachments in the chat box. So as we go along, if you want to take a look at the agenda is posted within your chat box. We also have some presentations that are being shared by our presenters today. You can find those on there as well. And we also have a resource sheet that is an added attachment on the chat as well. So take a look at those as we're going along. So if there are no questions in our chat for now, we're going to go ahead and move on to introducing Sylvia Files. Sylvia Files is our emergency operations lead at LA Harbor College, and she has graciously offered to provide so much information that you need to know regarding enrollment at LACCD. So we do have COVID protocols, as with any other campus within our nation, but specifically for LACCD, she will cover those COVID protocols that do affect your enrollment and do affect the classes that you plan to take. So without further ado, Sylvia, thank you and welcome.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. So as many of you know, many of the institutions and colleges in line with the CDC requirements have now instituted vaccination mandates for the colleges. So for the big picture for us is that our district adopted board policy 2900. You'll hear that number occasionally. And the statement is, as a condition of physically accessing any district building, so any of the colleges, including our district office, classrooms, library, gymnasium, facility, or other indoor setting, all district students shall present proof that they have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 unless exempt for medical or religious reasons. Okay, so fully vaccinated as of January 13th, according to the CDC, is to have your 2 inoculations, first and second dose, or if it's the Johnson & Johnson, the 1, and a booster. So more information and more communication will come soon to everybody indicating that change. And again, that change was just recently enacted by the CDC this week. So cleared for, as you've seen people, you've heard that term, cleared for is the platform that our district to gather all of the vaccine information, to hold it all together and have all that medical information, including testing for all of our students and employees. So BioCep, you'll hear that one as well. BioCep is the provider that provides testing on campus. All of the campuses have like 2 days a week that they provide free COVID testing for students and employees. Unfortunately, it's not to family members, but if you're a student, active student with LACCD, then you are able to take a COVID test there. Your cleared for account, you should have received a link and that is a personalized link. No one else has that same link as you do. So that personalized link was sent out back in September. So if a student has not set up their profile, they will, as you see on the screen, you'll have a hold on your student record. So cleared for, back in September, you were sent a link. You click on that link and then it'll walk you through a process. You accept a disclaimer as you read through the information. You enter your personal information, which is your address, your date of birth, and then you also indicate how you want to be communicated. If you want to just receive an email in the morning, or if you want a text message, which is the SMS text messaging. Once you've entered all that information, then you'll proceed to uploading your vaccination card. I would recommend that you would have those documents ready and available in front of you, because it's not that complicated of a process, but if you have the information in front of you, it's easier. They'll ask you to upload your information. Pay attention to when you're uploading your vaccination card. It'll ask you for first, second, and third dose. So just enter the dose, enter the date. After you've completed that, the next step would be insurance information. If you could please upload your insurance. Although it's not any cost to you, part of the process or part of the profile is to enter your insurance information. Should someone not have insurance, you write on a piece of paper and take a picture of it that says, I, name and date of birth, do not have medical insurance, and you upload that image. After that, you have to schedule a baseline test. It's a one-time test that completes your profile. That'll have the vaccination card, insurance card, and your baseline test. Okay. Once we've done that, there is also, say someone chooses not to be vaccinated, there is an exemption form. The two exemptions are a medical exemption or a religious exemption. Those exemptions are found in your student portal, or they also call it mycollege.laccd.edu. Those are not in cleared for. Also, another thing I need to note is do not upload your vaccination card to your student portal. That's not where it goes. It goes on cleared for. Two separate systems. Then it doesn't take that. So for when you get on your student portal, there's a bunch of little squares on your screen. Find the square that says COVID-19 vaccination exemption. When you click on that, you'll see the two. Religious exemption, you type in the information. Once you have successfully submitted it, the religious attestation form, you will receive a confirmation email within 2 days. For the medical exemption, you have to download the form and then get it signed by your physician and then upload it again in the same student portal. Once you've successfully uploaded and completed the form, you will receive a confirmation email within 2 days. Okay. Cleared for is set up, you're good to go, or you filed an exemption, then you have a daily check-in. So if you are going to the campus for an on-site class, or you need to go see a counselor, you need to go to the business office, you need to do a check-in. With the check-in, it asks you it's health screening questions. You answer the questions, and then you get a pass, either blue or green, and then you show that pass on the campus. Each of the campuses has kiosks. They're like laptops or what do you call it, Chromebooks, set up around the campus. And at the kiosk, you will show the QR code that is given to you. On the Clear for program, it'll have a little box that says show your pass. When you click on that, it'll give you a QR code, and you just scan that QR code at the kiosk. So that is your pass to get onto the campus. It asks you those health questions because it's screening if you don't feel well or you have been in contact with someone, then it's not going to give you a pass. It's going to give you some, it's going to tell you you do not have clearance to be on the campus. Let me go back, making sure I'm covering all that. Oh, one clarification on the exemption. If you file an exemption, you are required to test weekly. Because you are exempt, you're not inoculated, then every week while on campus, you need to have a COVID test. Okay, and I'll answer questions because I'm sure that'll bring up some questions. So hold on student record if documents are not uploaded. Like I said, back in September, students were given notification to set up their cleared for account. If since October till now, students have not set up their account, there is a hold on their record because it is a condition of being a student of LACCD. If you have a hold on your record, like for us at Harbor, students contact the Welcome Center and say, I have a hold on my record, and then they contact me as the campus safety officer. So whatever, find out what the process is on your campus. The safety officer will connect with you if they can send you your personalized link if you can't find it in your email. and then you can upload your information. I work with the Welcome Center and with with A&R. Once I see that the documents are uploaded, then you're released to be able, that hold is released and you're able to register. Again, that I don't know how each of the other campuses are handling, but that's how Harbor is handling it. Again, make sure you're compliant, make sure you upload that information. And if you do have a hold, it can be removed once those documents are uploaded. So I know I threw out a whole lot of I muted myself, sorry about that. There are some students that have been deactivated because of activity. If that happens to be the case for you, I'm going to put an email in the chat that you can email, and someone at the district office or whoever is monitoring this email address will assist you in reactivating your account so you can upload your documents and then move forward with that. Okay. Jessica, would you like me to just go ahead and just answer the questions on the chat or open it up for questions?
Yes, we did have some questions that came up. So let me go ahead and review. I think some of them were addressed by others, but I want to make sure that
Okay. Yeah,
that we
you let
get
me know.
through from the very beginning. So Claudia asked,
Okay.
can I get tested in the Southwest campus? Oh, just a sec, I lost it.
Oh yeah. If she's an LA Trade Tech student, yes, you can take a COVID test at any of the campuses, even the district office. Just make sure you book an appointment. Because of the uptick of the virus, a lot of our places are being flooded with appointments. So just make sure when you book your appointment, book it for the site that you want to book it for.
Awesome. Okay. And then thank you to Eric for offering that support and answering Claudia's question as well. He goes to LA Trade Tech and he gets tested at ELAC. So thank you for that support. So Kiara said, or she asked, if we don't plan on going to any campus, we don't need to do this link.
No, you still need to upload your vaccination information or request an exemption. You can get an extension on the baseline testing should you have an exemption. But as far as uploading a vaccination card or filing an exemption, you need to take care of that.
Got it. Okay. Deborah asked, if a student is exempted and tests weekly, who monitors the testing? Does the student need to show the weekly results to anyone? Is it logged in Clear4?
Yes. If you BioSep, your test results will go in your profile. You have access to it. And also your safety officer at the campus level is notified if there is a positive case. And then they will reach out to you to see how you are doing. And there is a contact tracing form. The key element of all of it is if you were on campus, say you were on campus, and you were in a classroom setting, is like, were you in close contact with anyone? Because then they need to be notified. The classroom as a whole, if you were in close contact, needs to be notified as a courtesy that there may have been an exposure, just for their safety.
Got it. Thank you. And then Kiara has a question. She has her hand up. So Kiara, go ahead
Yes,
and unmute, please, and ask.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to clarify as to why we need to do the link if we don't plan on going to campus and if we don't plan on getting a vaccination or doing any of that exemption stuff.
It's just part of the board policy that all LACCD students need to create this profile. And like I said, if you don't plan on being on the campus, you can, your baseline testing and checking in is extended because you're not on site. But to comply and being an LACCD student, you either upload a vaccine card or you file an exemption. Because either, let me put this scenario. You may be remote taking classes, but say, for example, you need to come in and see a counselor. and you're not able to see them remotely, you need to come in person. You need to come to the admissions office to ask a question, to clarify something, or you need to come to the veterans office to talk to the counselor to get some services. Even if your classes are remote, there is a possibility you might be on campus to get any kind of service. So therefore, you still need to set up that account.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Are there any other questions that you can think of from our group now? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Sylvia, for offering that information. Again, we appreciate having you here today. I think this whole process of vaccinations and submitting proof of vaccinations, proof of exemptions, the testing, I think it's been a little confusing at times. So this definitely helped to clarify. So thank you so much for your time. Yeah. Okay. All righty. So next, I would like to welcome Anthony Rodriguez. He is our CalVet link, and he is going to be talking about the CalVet fee waiver, the application process, what a student needs to do, what a veteran needs to do to apply. How does that work? What's the eligibility? So Anthony's here today to provide that information to us. And I hope you definitely tune in. The CalVet fee waiver is intended for dependents. And you may be thinking, but I'm a veteran, I'm not going to use it. But you still need to listen, because it's great information that could actually even potentially help your children or future children if you don't have kids. So Anthony, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Looking for my presentation here. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up. All right, hold on. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. And I'm going to go ahead and jump right on in. And if you have any questions, I don't mind the interruptions. However, I'll comply with however Jessica would like to go. But so anyway, we're here to talk about CalVet college fee waiver. And let me jump right on in. This program is used mostly at the community college level more than any other type of school. And I think it's really appropriate that we're here this morning. So the college fee waiver is, as Jessica mentioned, a program that we created in California for dependents. So as most of you probably know, the GI Bill and all the other VA programs are directed at the veterans themselves upon their separation from military, with some minor exceptions. This program at the state of California has been completely designed for the dependent children and spouses. And it is one in which the tuition is waived at the school at a state public school. So at the state community college level, all of the schools are included that are public. At the California State University level, all the schools are included, and at the University of California, okay? Unlike the GI Bills, it does not include books or parking or room and board or housing or anything else. We only cover or waive tuition for the program, okay? And I'll get into that. So that's the overview of the program. As I mentioned, it was designed for veterans and dependents. But it's a program for California veterans and their children. The determination of residency is done at your level. We go by what you, the schools, determine is residency. Okay, so if you require ID and that's what you go by, then that's what we go by. However, we do have cases where you have a veteran here in California and their child is out of state, and then they come to California. They don't have California ID. In that case, we would pay for the tuition, the in-state tuition, but if you determine they're out of state, the balance would be paid for by the family or the student. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's just say the tuition is in-state is $500. We would cover that, but the out-of-state tuition is $1,000. If you determine the student is out of state, then 500 is covered and the other 500 is not covered. Yes, question?
Thank you.
Somebody have a question? Okay, I guess not. Okay. I do know also that the UCs can require residency from both the parents, that is the veteran and the child. That's kind of the only exception. UCLA is pretty adamant that the parent and the child must be residents for this program. Now there's 4 plans. There's plan A, B, C, and D. The most common plan and the plan that you probably heard of is plan B. That's the 0% service connection plan, but we also have a plan A. I'm going to talk about all of these briefly. Plan A is the plan for a veteran who has a 100% service-connected disability, as he has an award letter from the VA. Okay, in order for him to qualify the program, he or she must have served during a period of war and have a campaign or expeditionary medal. That's going to be determined for those who review the paperwork. The program begins, it is eligible, the child is eligible at age 14 up to age 27. In this program, program A, the spouse is eligible, but there's no age limits on the spouse. In this program, you cannot use Chapter 35 at the same time. Chapter 35 of the VA is the dependent education program, and we cannot use them concurrent. And the other thing is that the veteran, him or herself, must be determined 100% before the child's 21st birthday. Sometimes we get the question where, the veteran's 100% and the child is now, 30 years old or 40 years old. They have to be before the 21st birthday. That determination of the VA 100%. So honestly,
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So I'm 100%, but it's unemployability, not total. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're 100% total disability, I'm 100% because of individual unemployability. Would that count as that 100% here?
It would count as long as you have a campaign or expeditionary medal, that is, you served during time of war.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
As long as it's it's IU and it's right now I'm getting paid as 100% disabled.
Yes.
Then that will count.
Yeah, as long as your letter says 100%.
So, and this veteran must serve active duty during periods of war. It's like, for example, I served during Iraqi and during freedom.
Yes.
I guess that would count as this, right?
As long as you have a campaign or expeditionary medal or have served during war, you're eligible. Okay. And the VA has a listing, and we have a listing in our blue book of all the war periods.
I guess I can check my DD 214 for this.
Yeah.
But if I was I'm a Iraqi and enduring freedom veteran, then that would be on the list, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that I was going to say this plan A is not used that often because there aren't on that service connection. It tends to be kind of rare, but it is eligible and we do list it. Now, plan B is the program that most of you have used or will be using if you haven't already. And this is the plan where a veteran can qualify with a 0% service-connected rating. 0% rating is not the same as no rating. 0% means that the veteran goes to the VA and applies for a VA service-connected disability compensation with the VSO. That is, he can do it with us, CalVet, or with another agency. And the VA has an exam, and the results come back and say, you know what, we see that you had an injury or a scar or some other event, but it's not significant enough for us to give you a percentage. A percentage means that the veteran will receive a monthly payment until they die, tax-free payment. So they will not receive a payment, but sometimes they'll get a 0%. Many times they'll get a 0%. That 0% will qualify them for this program. The program is for dependent children only, in this case, Plan B, not for the spouse. It is also contingent upon the income of the child. We don't look at the income of the parents in this program, only the income of the child. The parents can be millionaires and we don't care. but the child's income must be below poverty level. And we have a listing of that. And last year, to attend school in September of 2021, we looked at the year 2020. That's a misprint. I should have put 2020. And the income level maximum for the child is $13,465. So we actually require the IRS records of the child. And we take that as well as we ask the parent, what did you contribute to your child's income? We don't ask for any records on that. We just ask them to give us a number. We add those together, and the sum has to be below the national poverty level. Again, it's this most common year, the year that we just use is 13,465. In this program, you can use it concurrent with Chapter 35. So I get asked all the time, I'm 100%, I have Chapter 35, can I use CalVet? The answer is yes, if you use this program, Plan B, okay? And this program, probably the most significant part about the program is that there's no age limit on the child. The child can be 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. There's no time limit. The child can use it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and there's no degree limit. The child can obtain an associate's, a bachelor's, a master's, or PhD. They can earn 2 PhDs, 2 masters. So it's an amazing program. As long as the child is below the income, that's the killer. Because if you go over, you're not eligible for that 1 year. But it's a great addition, and it's in some ways it has features better than GI Bill because it lasts so long. Obviously, the GI Bill pays for books and housing, and that's amazing too. But that's the benefit of the program. So any questions on this one so far? All right, let's go on to Plan C then. Plan C is a program that we have for someone who is in the National Guard. And Plan C is a program for someone who unfortunately dies while they're in the National Guard or receives a 100% service-connected disability rating. Okay, if they pass on, the spouse is eligible for this program as long as the spouse does not remarry. And they must be in their records, it must be active duty to state. And there's a particular code that the National Guard uses, Section 146. As long as they have this 146, then they're eligible. So the easy way to remember this one is if the National Guard member got 100% service connected, okay? They have the choice of using this. If they're 100% service connected, they can use this one, or they can use Plan A, because that's what 100% is for either. But this one is particularly designed for National Guard, and it has some features like for the surviving spouse, which are also beneficial. The final plan is Plan D, and this is the plan for the Medal of Honor winners. This is also very rare because there's not very many Medal of Honor winners around. To be eligible, the veteran must be a Medal of Honor winner. In this case, it's eligible for the veteran who has the Medal of Honor, which is kind of the exception, and also the children of the veteran of the Medal of Honor, up to age 27. It is for undergraduate studies only, and there are income limits on this one, just like there are in Plan B. However, it may be used concurrent with Chapter 35. Now, the process to use the program is that all paperwork in any California public school must be done through the local county veteran service office. So just so you know, in California, we have 56 counties. 58 of those counties have a county veteran service office. In those offices, the individuals work in conjunction with CalVet. All of the individuals, all of the service reps in each of the county offices in every county in the state have been trained by CalVet. We require them to go through a 2-year academy to be certified, and we audit their all the process, everything that they do. And so what you do is you complete the paperwork. You have the veteran for his children or his dependents complete the paperwork, sign it, and then make an appointment with a local veteran service organization. Okay, it cannot be just mailed in, because during the period of time when they accept the applications, which generally is the summer, May and June, they literally get thousands of applications. So if it just gets mailed, it's probably going to it could get lost. We don't want that to happen. So the best way to do it is for the veteran to make an appointment with the College Veteran Service Office, and then electronically, virtually go over the paperwork, have it reviewed. They okay it, they stamp it, and then they send back an approval letter to the veteran or the dependent. That veteran letter, that approval letter, then is taken either to the VRC or admission. I would probably think you guys at the admission office would want it, and then you go forward with that. Additionally, this paperwork is then taken to the respective campus. I mentioned that. In the Los Angeles area, I have the link here, this V2 link, where the veteran can click on that link and it will take them to a scheduling calendar for the Los Angeles County Veteran Service Office so they can make an appointment. That would be for any of the veteran services that are provided by them. That includes the driver's license. You know, we have a ton of stuff that the license plate, any services that the CalVet offers in Los Angeles County, that's the link that they use. If the veteran is in another county, they can click on this other link and it takes them to a locator where they would click in the county they're interested in, and it would give them the address and phone number. And then from there, they would make an appointment so they could complete the paperwork. Additionally, I have a 4-page handout that's on our website. I can send it to you, Jessica, or try to put it on the link. But this explains the program. It's a handout. It's available for free. All the links on it are accurate. And so I just show you as a way, as a reminder. So kind of a lot of details. I don't normally go into this much detail, but you can look at that if you'd like. Additionally, I have a contact list, which I can provide through Jessica, of the name of all 20 or so service reps in the Los Angeles County area. And they have their name and the area they cover and their email. And that's another way for the veteran to try to contact the County Veteran Service Office in order to make an appointment to complete the paperwork. So I'd be happy to send that to you as well, or send that through Jessica. So finally, this is my contact information. That's my cell that I use and my email. And if you have any questions at all, my job is really to help you. I'm a member of the Region 7, Region 6, and also Region 8 BRC consortiums. And I belong to a number of other groups, and be happy to help you answer questions about this or any other CalVet program. All right. Any questions?
Anthony. Any questions? I don't see any in the chat, but if you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand and we can definitely address those at this time. Okay, so Kenneth has a question. Your hand is up.
I know this event is being recorded, but I'm just wondering if Anthony could share that PowerPoint with us. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I can. Like I said, there's lots of detail in there that I don't normally go over, and it may be a little confusing, but I'd be happy to share it with you, sure.
So the PowerPoint is actually one of the attachments in the chat. It should be in the chat already. We're also, after this, sometime next week, early next week, we do have Monday off, but early next week, we are going to put together a packet that will include PowerPoints, our resource pages, as well as, Anthony, if you can send me the handout and the contact list, we'll include it in all of our participants today. So, any other questions?
Okay, well, either I gave such an amazing presentation that you guys are speechless, or there's no questions. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Love to help you and work with you guys. Give me a call anytime or an email, and I'll be happy to help.
Thank you, Anthony. Really appreciate having you here today. So thanks so much for your time and your expertise and knowledge. One thing I do want to add is when those CalVet fee waiver approval letters are sent out to the student, those letters actually should be directed to financial aid. So when you have a letter, you want to make sure that your that the person that, or your dependent or your spouse that you are supporting through through the CalVet fee waiver taking that letter of approval to financial aid. Once in financial aid, it's just, I guess, part of the paperwork and process to fill out a supplemental form, which would be the college fee waiver for the BOG fee waiver. So, so that's just part of the process. The financial aid would be the office that would help you with the fee waiver and to process that. So, okay, and then Melanie has a question for Anthony. When will you be presenting again? I learn something new every time you present.
Well, sometimes I get asked to present for some of the VRC meetings that occur at the campuses. I'd be happy to work that in. Sometimes I get asked to work with the orientations some of the campuses have for veterans, or some of the nonprofits ask me to come in. So, Melanie, the last time I think we talked, I think you were at Goodwill. I don't know if you're still there or where you are, but what agency are you with? How you doing? And I'll be happy to.
Hi, Anthony.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. No, I'm no longer with Goodwill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but so I've turned a new chapter in my, own career development. But it's good to see you. So,
Okay.
and it's true for everyone on here. This is definitely not my first time hearing Anthony speak, and he's amazing. And
Oh,
I
thank you.
absorb something new every single time. So hopefully, we can catch you again somewhere when you present. That's why I was asking, because every time, without fail, I
Oh,
absorb
thank you.
something new.
That's very sweet. So like I said, if someone would, I'd be happy to present as the calendar allows.
Anthony, excuse me, I have a question.
Mhm.
Sorry. On the plan A, I know on the
Yes.
plan B, the child has like an income, right? What
Income
about
limit,
plan
uh-huh.
A? They didn't say. I'm looking online, and does plan A have an income also?
No, plan A, we don't look at income from anyone, the parents nor the child. It's very nice. It's a lot less paperwork. The plan A, you just, basically you just fill out the paperwork and there you go, that's it.
Oh,
show-
okay. And
show your
then
letter.
it also has no age limit, right, for plan A?
No,
Or-
plan A has an age limit of 27 for the children.
Oh,
plan-
so at 27, then
Right.
that's it.
Right. So,
I see. So that's the
what-
big difference between that one and the B. The B doesn't have an age limit.
that's right. The other difference is that the benefit of plan B though is there's no time limit. So
Yes.
sometimes people go with A because you're still qualified to use B even if you have 100%.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes you can because if you have chapter 35, you can use that and B at the same time. You can kind of double dip. So sometimes it's better to use B than A. So that's what you have to kind of think about.
So basically, I can use, let's say, A, now and then B later.
Yes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. That's really cool. I mean, I have no idea what it's worth, but it's obviously worth, if the whole state's using this program, it could be worth millions of dollars, literally. And your kids could go to school 10 years. That's amazing.
I
At a
know.
UC or I mean, what does that cost? That's very
You go to
expensive.
medical school.
That's
plan B.
absolutely, yeah. So it doesn't pay books, it doesn't pay housing, but tuition is the main cost and it does cover that. So it can be, very, very good program. And it also supports our schools, supports all of you who do such a good job in the public sector with education. So, I think it's a win-win.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, Anthony, you are always welcome to present at any of our
Okay.
individual workshops we have at our own VRCs. And of course, we'll be bringing more of these LACCD webinars to everyone as well. And you're always welcome.
Thank you.
So thank
Okay.
you. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna take off. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye. All righty. If I may add to that too, on our resource page, we are going to include a link to CalTAP. CalTAP is a wonderful program that is online, and you can find a lot of great information related to, CalVet fee waivers, about veteran benefits, about employment. There's so many different great presentations, and CalTAP is essentially a branch of CalVet where they've taken the TAP program upon exit from service, and they've made it available for veterans. So, so take a look at that CalTAP website. We'll make sure that we put it onto our resource page, and that packet we get out to you next week. Okay, so next up is VA certification. Now, certification, as I mentioned earlier, happens at every one of our campuses. While we try to align our services, we try to align our process as much as possible, there are many other ways that we are unique as well. And so this is one area where we are unique, and depending on which campus you go to, the process may be a little bit different. However, there are certain regulations, rules that we must follow that are the same. So in our VA certification presented today by our SEOs from trade, we essentially put together, and with, of course, the help of Trish over at Valley College, we put together some, I guess, frequently asked questions and concerns from our student vets who are using VA education benefits. And that's what our presentation is about today. So, so leading the VA certification segment is Andrew, and I'm not sure if Cookie's here yet, but Andrew, you're on. Oh, there's
Yeah, we're here. We're here.
Here,
Let's see both.
Go ahead, you're presenting, right?
Okay, so we're gonna upload the presentation. So give me 1 second. Share the screen. Can everybody see that?
Yes, we can see.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, so just like Jessica said, thank you for that introduction. My name is Andrew Toney, and I am one of the school certifying officials here at LA Trade Tech. And I'm here with the one and only.
I'm Cookie Williams. I'm also a certifying official here at LA Trade Tech for many moons.
I know, clap it, all right. So what we're going to do today, well, we're going to actually talk about a lot of the FAQs, frequently asked questions that a lot of our veteran students have. So our goal is to make sure we provide some insight, some clarity to those questions. And, you know, hopefully you guys get the answers that you need. I guess the way we could do it is we could hold all the questions towards the end, and then we'll answer the questions accordingly. So with that being said, we'll jump in. So before we jump into like the actual meat of the presentation, this is basically a like a directory of all the information, links and emails for the SEOs. So if you want to, you definitely could take a picture. Of course, we're being recorded, so we're going to send out the recordings as well. But maybe just for your own personal use, you could just snap a quick picture, and you'll see the names associated with the campuses and the emails, and you can use that for your own personal guidance. I'll give you a couple seconds to do that.
I'm freaking cold.
Okay, so we will move on. So one of the questions we get a lot of the times with a lot of veteran students are regarding the fees. So we want to bring some insight and clarity to that aspect. So in terms of fees, in relation to the VA, is broken down into two segments: mandatory fees and non-mandatory fees. So the only line item that lives in with the mandatory fees for the VA are the health fees. So these health fees are basically what the VA will pay for a veteran student, for veterans. In terms of the non-mandatory fees, as you see, there's a couple non-mandatory fees. The VA doesn't pay for these fees for veterans who are part of specific chapters. For example, if you're part of Chapter 33 post 9/11, which is the majority of our veteran students, the VA, they're not going to pay those fees for you guys. As you can see, representation fee of $2, an associated student union fee or ASO for $10, and then you have your parking broken down by either semester. Now, I just want to put a little note out there. In terms, if you're Chapter 31, which is formerly known as vocational rehabilitation, they basically pay for everything. So in terms of your parking, they're going to pay for that completely. In terms of your books and supplies, they're going to pay for that completely. So if you're Chapter 31, your VA counselor, yeah, they'll pay for all that. All the other chapters, that's not the case.
Yeah, so also, so ASO, where it says on the mandatory fee, all students are going to be charged an ASO fee, and almost, I mean, all students, doesn't matter, chapter, veteran, whatever, but you can opt out of the ASO fee. That's something that you have to do. Oh, she's going to talk about that. Go ahead.
That's perfect.
This is where you can opt out it on your PeopleSoft. So we're gonna try to, everyone's gonna try to put this on their website so that you can see. So ASO fees are charged every semester for every student, but you have the option to opt out and say that you do not want to pay for it. And then I believe it gives you the hazard, the ASO fee, opt out, so that's on your PeopleSoft, and it shows you where to go, your student account. So make sure that's something that you are not involved with or you don't want to pay, make sure you opt out of that, because if not, that's something that you will have to pay. It's not on the VA at all.
So that being said as well, in terms of opting out, I highly suggest that you also reach out to your ASO representative. The reason, or the business office, the reason why is because there's a lot of great support and great activities and that the ASO offers students. If you do opt out, of course, you are basically saying you don't want that support, you don't want those accommodations, and then of course you won't be able to get them. I don't know if we have Miss Deborah Campbell. Okay, Deborah Campbell, do you want to chime in real quick?
I do. Thank you, Cookie and Andrew. So my name is Deborah Campbell. I'm actually the VRC, the LATTC VRC counselor, and I'm also the ASO, which is ASO stands for, it's our student government on campus. It's ASO, ASG, and ASU in the district. The reason I wanted to chime in is because in the last slide, there was a $2 fee for representation, and most people have no idea what that means. Your ASO, ASG, ASU is also there for advocacy. At Trade Tech at any given time, we have students that are coming in saying, you know, this is happening in my class and this is not fair, and can we change this, or whatever the case may be. Your student government is who you go to do that. And that $2 fee helps sponsor your student government to move your issues that you want to correct at your campus forward. So we highly recommend that that is not an opt-out, that you stay in there. We also highly recommend that you know, if you can, get involved with your student government, be in a club at Trade Tech. We have a veterans club that's very active, and they do things just for within the veterans club. And the student government at Trade Tech sponsors some of the events that they do. So when it comes to opting out, I'm gonna echo what Mr. Tony said. Give it a second thought. Go talk to your local ASO, ASG, or ASU government, the student government. These are students just like you that are in charge of the student government of your campus. So I'm gonna say, the last thing I'm gonna say in this new year is, support your ASO, ASU, and ASGs. Don't opt out quickly. Give it some thought, because 99% of the people that really go and have a conversation with them decide to stay. It's only $2, it's only $5, or whatever the case may be. It's a little bit of money for a whole lot of return. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Okay. So now we're gonna break down the fees a little bit more so you get a little bit more insight. So in terms of the mandatory fees, when you hear mandatory fees, usually you just see a line item that says health fees, but what does that really mean? So in terms of the mandatory fees, the Los Angeles College District charges a $19 mandatory health fee per semester, spring and fall, and $16 per semester for winter and summer, payable to one college only. And basically they cover the health costs of the students. So as you can see here in all the services that are broken down, these are all the services you can utilize on your campus at your health center. A lot of times students don't know that you could utilize these types of services and that they're available for you and that you're paying for them already. So we just want to bring that to your attention, that these services are already prepaid because you're paying for them with your fees. You could go over there and totally use them accordingly.
And testing. As tested for, I'm sorry, COVID testing.
COVID testing as well. Yeah. So you can do one-stop shop. So we already explained some of the non-mandatory fees, but this is just a nice visual just to see exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
Now what we're gonna do, now we're going to talk about a little bit more about the certification process, because I'll say 2/3 of all the FAQs that we receive are about the certification process. So we kind of want to give that a little bit more attention. So as you guys see on your screen, we're looking at in terms of like the chapter 31, 33s in terms of your certification process. And I know this whole situation with COVID has been insane. A lot of the terms synchronous, asynchronous, people have heard them. It's like, what do they mean? How do I decipher them? How does that affect my BAH? We're here to give you that clarity. So to prevent reduction to your basic allowance for housing, your BAH, one hybrid or in-person class or a synchronous class is required. A lot of students say, okay, they think because the VA allowed the whole COVID online allotment to happen, you could take all 100% online classes. And there's a difference between the online and the remote, or synchronous and asynchronous. So if you look at the screenshot that you guys see on your screen, we took this from one of the schedules, and I want you to pay attention to the top line. In terms of the Art 101, the class number, first line item 10262. Notice that it has a defined date and a defined time. So if you ever see a class like this, but then it says online, well, that class is going to be defined as remote or synchronous. So that class means that if you take that class, yeah, you're going to be on Zoom, but in terms of the VA, we certify you as in person. Now, I want you to look at the second line item in terms of class section 10843. Notice that the template is different. Notice it just gives you 1030 per week, a couple hours per week, right? That breakdown basically shows it's going to be online 100%. That's a Canvas class. So no matter what, even though the VA extended the online COVID certification process, this is always going to be 100% online and always certified as distance. So if you want to give yourself like a litmus test, what you could ask yourself is this: if COVID wasn't here, would this class be online? If the answer is yes, well, that could tell you for sure that's going to be 100% distance. If the answer is no, well, there you go. It's going to be part of that whole COVID emergency response situation. In terms of asynchronous, so asynchronous courses are 100% online. These courses do not reflect a start and end, and under days it reflects TBA. So again, that is your telltale right there. As long as you see that, that's going to tell you that it's always going to be a distance class. Are there any, I know this slide is pretty important. So I guess, are there any questions immediately about this right now? I see a hand raised by Deborah Campbell.
No, that was the old hand.
Oh, okay. Okay, so if you don't have any questions now, like I said, think about it, analyze it. If you have questions towards the end of the presentation, we'll definitely answer accordingly. So with that being said, when you're giving your classes, one way to do it, in essence, utilize the filters that already exist. When you go to your search on PeopleSoft, what you could do, you could utilize the filters, and you actually could input synchronous or asynchronous classes. And basically that will filter out whichever selection you made, and that will give you all the classes that are synchronous or that are asynchronous. So in that situation, there's really no guessing game. It's already defined for you. And then you know exactly what that situation is going to lead up to in terms of VA certification. If you're not familiar with how to navigate the whole the process, the class search filters in terms of selecting your classes, definitely stop by your VRC on campus, and we're definitely here to assist you and help you, and we could definitely guide you with that. Okay, so now getting a little bit deeper into the certification process, we also want to talk about, because this is another big question that we get in terms of how come I'm not receiving full-time, even though I do have 12 units for a particular semester? So we're going to give you a little insight from our perspective, how we report to the VA, so you guys could get that information. So I'm going to read this snapshot real quick. BAH unit requirements. So 7 units are required for a prorated amount of your entitlement. To estimate the benefit percentage, divide current enrollment divided by full-time unit requirement times 100. I know that sounds crazy, like you're in math class. Don't worry, we're going to simplify it. So here towards the bottom, it shows a quick example. So in this example, you have a student who enrolled in 9 units, and we're using this for the upcoming spring semester, right? So you enrolled in 9 units from February 7th to June 6th, so across the board in terms of the semester. Then you also enrolled in 3 units starting April 11th to June 6th. So technically speaking, yeah, for the spring semester, you do have 12 units, and 12 units will be full-time. So technically speaking, that is accurate. However, you have to understand how we report to the VA. So when we report to the VA, we report the number of units and time. Those are the 2 crucial elements that the VA looks at to process your certification. So notice that with the line item that has the 9 units is from February 7th to June 6th. So starting February 7th, those 9 units are activated. Your additional 3 units are not activated until April 11th. So technically speaking, the way we report to the VA, when starting from February 7th to April 10th, you're at 9 units or 3/4 or 75%. Not until April 11th, when that additional 3 units are activated, that's when we become at 12 units full time. So it's a clear distinction that we definitely want to make sure that everyone understands, because we see these issues come about a lot when we're certifying students, and there's a level of confusion, and we understand it from the student point of view, but we're trying to give you exposure to how we communicate with the VA from our point of view.
And so also remember that winter, summer have their own distinctive dates. And so you can be enrolled in 8 weeks. Well, winter, enrolled in 5, but in the summer, you can be enrolled in 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 5-week courses. And then we did the breakdown for you above to let you know that as far as full-time in the spring and the fall, you have to be 12 units the whole duration of the 16 weeks, as Andrew was explaining. But when you go down to the 8 weeks is considered full-time is 6 units. We have culinary arts, we have fashion, cosmetology, automotive that are on an 8-week scale, right? And then we also have some automotives that are 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for you to be a full BAH, you have to have 4 units. And so it's very confusing to some students, because we have some students that are that take what is that, micro something.
Okay.
And each class is 2 units. So, and those classes are 4 weeks. So we're trying to get them to understand that you need 2 classes every 4 weeks. So, it may sound confusing, but if you look at this, and hopefully we'll have it set up for you all to see it. Every VRC should know this. So don't hesitate to ask your representative in the VRCs, and they'll do the breakdown for you. What we do is, when we certify our students and we notice that, oh, you took this class that was, like he said, maybe in April, we always contact them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll certify you, but let you know that this is at the end, you won't be full-time, and then they have to make that determination what they want to do. And hopefully we catch it way before the semester starts, so they can kind of fix their schedule.
That's right. So, and exactly everything Cookie just said and everything we talked about earlier, now we're going to show you the visual representation that the VA created, the rubric that we use. So I'm going to just jump to that and I'll go back. So this is the rubric that we use, and this is the rubric that the VA uses as well. And this is everything Cookie just explained. So if you look at it from the horizontal axis, it shows the weeks, and on the vertical axis, it shows the number of units. So just like Cookie was saying, so for right now, for winter intersession, we're at 5 weeks. So the number of weeks is defined right here. So if you use a rubric and just go down, it already defines for you that the minimum number of units you need to be full-time are 4 units. So 4 units for 5 weeks could be full-time. If you were to just take one class, 3-unit class, well, that will give you 75%. So doing the same thing for a full semester, usually typically our semesters are around 16 weeks for fall and spring. If you look at it here, 15 to 19, so we fall right into there. The only line item that will suffice for full-time will be 12 units or more. Now, say that's a special program that like Cookie just talked about, and you have 8-week sessions. So you'll just use the same formula. You look at the 8 weeks right here, and you'll go down until you see the first full-time, and it shows you a number of 6 units. So in order to be full-time for 8-week sessions, you need 6 units. And this is the rubric, you guys, that the VA uses. Let me go back a bit. I know there's a lot of questions, so we're literally like second to last slide. So we're just gonna hold it till we finish and then go for the questions. Now, the last thing we want to talk about in this context is the payments. So sometimes that's a little confusing too. For example, you started the winter session on the 4th of January. It finishes February 6th. When do I get my payout? So BH will be paid on the 1st of each month. The first BH payment will be issued on the 1st of the following month after attendance. So right now, you guys started on the 4th, so you're going to be looking early February for your first disbursement, for winter, and then so on and so forth for the subsequent semesters.
And then also remember that school started on the 4th, or the 3rd, 4th, and ends on the 31 days. I can't remember. You're only going to get paid for the date from the 4th or the 4th to the end of that month. And I know that the semester ends in 6 days after that. You'll get a smaller check later, so that whole month check will not come. It will not come to you the whole semester check. And also what happens is for spring, school starts on the 7th.
Mhm.
February is a short month.
Yeah.
So you're only gonna get paid for something like 20 days. At school, so that check is gonna be small. And I don't think a lot of veterans understand that. So how many days is in that month that we stop short of, you're only gonna get paid for those days in that month. You get me? So that means in February, you'll get a smaller check for winter. And then your February check for spring will come March 1st.
There you go. So that's the breakdown. One last item we want to talk about as well, specifically for Chapter 33 veterans, is the book stipend. So the annual book stipend and supply stipends is a benefit up to $1,000 paid to post 9/11 or Chapter 33 students based on enrollment. Stipends is equal to $41.67 per unit. The money is paid directly to students at the beginning of each semester. So just make sure your certifications are submitted in a timely manner. So because as they are, we can certify them immediately, and then you'll be able to get all your funds, beforehand, opposed to having to wait a couple of days. Okay, are there any questions?
Yeah, the question I had was, can we take classes at different campuses and consider them all, towards your being a full-time student?
That is a great question. So the answer to that question is yes. So this is how it works. So we have a format that we use called a parent school letter, or a PSL for short. And what happens is, if you say that you're a student at Trade Tech and you wanted to take a class at ELAC, what you're going to do, you're going to indicate that to myself, to Cookie, say, yeah, I'm registered for a class at ELAC. I want to use my GI Bill there. So what we're going to do, we're going to create or generate a PSL for you, and we're going to send it over to our counterparts at ELAC. and then they're going to be the ones who certify for you. Remember, your certifying official can only certify at your campus unless given other permission from the higher ups. But they're they're only going to be at your campus. So keep that in mind. If you are going to take classes at other campuses, communicate that with your SEO so they could create that PSL for you, and the process should be pretty smooth. Great question.
In other words, the other campus is gonna pay, well, you get paid out of that, from that campus, not from this. So whenever you go on there and you'll say, we get a lot of students say, well, I have 9 units here and I have 3 over there, it's not showing together. Why, how come I didn't get paid, or what happened? It's because you're taking 9 with us and you're taking 3 somewhere else. And it just happens, however the certification goes, it may become a little late, it may come on time. So just be mindful that when you take a class at another campus, do everything at once. So that way everything can be done and certified at the same time. So there won't be any lag in your payments.
Yeah.
And can we take several different programs? Like, for say, if I'm taking a degree on this, can I take a degree on something else and combine them?
No, honey. You have to stick to what your program is. You have to stick to that. If you're taking automotive here and you want to take something else over there, camera shooting, we cannot certify you for that. We can only certify you for what your program, what's on your educational plan. Now with us, there's a couple of things that we can do. Other campuses, I'm not sure, but because we have culinary, and culinary is cooking, and we have baking. So we have some students that are taking both at the same time, dual. It can be done only because it's in the same group program. Other than that, no, you can't take 2 different programs at a different place and get certified for 2 different programs. Now, if they go hand in hand, like culinary, or automotive collision, automotive repair,
yeah.
automotive, so those programs, anything else, no. It has to be that one program.
They have to be stackable.
Yeah, stackable.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, and if I may add also, and this is a perfect example of why you need to create your ed plan with a veterans counselor, because we know the rules, we know the regulations, VA laws, and so we make sure that your ed plans serve as a contract. So we kind of know, okay, if these 2 programs overlap, then yeah, we're gonna be working towards, one goal at a time. That's the VA rule, 1 goal at a time. But we know how to be instrumental and, put it all together to try to get you as many certs or degrees as you can possibly qualify for by still following the rules.
Any other questions? I see Kenneth.
Yeah, going back to the semester credit equivalency,
Okay.
right? For a 16-week semester, if a student is taking, 6 units, and it's an 8-week course, 2 classes, right? Right there, 8-week course for the first half of the semester is 6 units, and then they do another set of classes, which is a total of 6 units in the second half of the 8-week semester. Then they would be covered for that whole semester, correct?
That's correct. You'll get full time for that first half of the 8 weeks because you're at 6 units. And then when the second half of the 8 weeks start, because you're at that 6 unit mark, that's full time as well. That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other?
I have a question. This is Al de La Paz. Good afternoon, everyone. I took my post 9/11 bill back in 2010 and 11. I used 19 months of that, taking a computer science associate degree, but that time I wasn't able to complete it because I was hired by the IRS. I'm working with the IRS right now since 2011. I have a bachelor's degree back in the Philippines, but I wasn't able to use it when I took my associate degree in Los Angeles College back then. Now I'm planning to go back because I have like 16 months left on my post 9/11, and I'm trying to get back to class, planning to take the cybersecurity associate certification of achievement or something. I think we call that program that way. So my question is, should I need to transfer, or I mean, what happened to the old program that I enrolled? Should I change that and make that, change it to the cybersecurity? What should I do? Should I talk to the counselor, say, hey, I took this before and I wasn't able to complete that because I started, a job, and then I'm trying to enhance. The reason why I'm trying to go back to school is I want to take this cybersecurity. It needs on my current job right now because I'm an IT specialist. And one of the things that I want to learn is, although we have that in the IRS, but since the school is like 2 blocks away from my house, so might as well use the remaining 16 months, post 9/11 bill.
So let me say this to you. When you come back, or if you're not back, if you're back already, yes, you don't have to take what you had before. You can start a new program, but always go with the counselor. So that way the counselor can look at what you've already taken to see what the other program has. Maybe they have classes on there that you've already taken. And then that way they can say, well, this is what you need, what's left. Because sometimes that's what happens. We have students that come and then come and go, and they come back and they get another program. And then instead of them coming talking to us so we can see everything they've done, they'll go and talk to another counselor and don't know all the regulations. But
should I go to a regular counselor or should I go to a
veteran counselor?
Okay.
Hi, Al. I just talked to you over the phone yesterday. Definitely we can connect. And like Cookie said, we'll look at your previous coursework and take a look at all the classes and do sort of like an evaluation of them and help you get set up.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Sorry, just wanted to say hi.
That's one thing that we focus on, you guys, and I want you all to know that. We focus on your well-being and making sure that you push for it, and whatever we can do, we always tell the students, I'll walk you to class if you have to. That's who we are across the board. So remember that we're here to help you push forward and for you to get the things that you need. So remember that.
That's right. Great questions. Any more questions?
I just wanted to add that when you talk to a veteran counselor, like the gentleman here said, they tend to know a little bit more than what you need to take than when you speak to a regular counselor who doesn't know much about the veterans program. So yeah, if you're a veteran, it behooves you to speak to a veteran counselor.
That's right. Great advice. Okay, so I guess that's all the questions.
Anything in the chat? No, we're good.
Anything in the chat, Jessica?
No?
I had a question.
Oh.
Go for it, Brandon.
I believe you already answered it. I just want to clarify what the answer was. As far as for the semester, I'm taking multiple classes, and they're all in different schools. One ELAC, which is synchronous, and the other 2 are asynchronous, but they're in different schools. To make that, you mentioned something about going to the PO and making the process smoother, notifying that those other classes are not at ELAC. I just didn't quite understand that.
Yeah. So we're talking about the parent school letter. So basically, this is a process. You just want to, have that channel of communication open with your SCO at your campus. And basically, you just want to let them know, they're going to see it no matter what from the back end, but, just for communication purposes, let them know, yeah, I'm taking, 2 other classes at another campus, whatever the case is. So on their part, so that's all you have to do. So now it becomes on their part. And then on their part, they're going to generate, like I said, what's called a PSL. And they're going to send it over to our counterparts at those various campuses. And those colleagues are going to be the ones who are going to certify you for those units.
Okay, I see. And notifying them would just kind of make the process go smoother. If I didn't notify them, would it still work out, or is it wouldn't work out? I have to notify them.
Everyone, as you can see, everyone's shaking their head. No.
Yeah, I saw that at the same time. I was like, okay, well then for sure, then I have to notify. So just notify the CO.
Yeah, that's right. That's the easiest way to do it. Easiest way.
Everyone together now.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
So Brandon, I just want to make sure I'm completely understanding. Your homeschool is ELAC, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, awesome. Then you want to reach out to Razi Vela. So Razi is your SEO.
Okay.
He's here right now. So I would suggest that maybe after the webinar, just go ahead and reach out to him. I provided some contacts. If you can't get a hold of him, you can go ahead and call our number as well.
Great. I appreciate that.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so yeah, that's everything from us.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a great segment, guys. I mean, you are the trade dream team. So love having you present. Trish, thank you for putting the slides together from
Thank you, Trish.
Dallas. Great, so great teamwork. We're all in unity to serve all of our 9 campuses and our veterans and service members and dependents who are attending. So that's teamwork right there. I do want to also point out that going back to adding classes, if you're having trouble still figuring out synchronous versus asynchronous or how to find classes, especially if you're a new student and looking through the portal, many of our VRCs have peer mentors or staff, and we're available in person, as well as some of us are still offering our hybrid services as well, and we have lobbies that are online. So I recommend finding us, on our website. I provided the list of our website links earlier. So find us on the website and see how you can connect with someone to help you out with adding your classes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Trade. We are going to go ahead and move on to learning about VA updates for students. So we are joined today by Mauda Kazdan. She is the Veteran Success on-campus counselor working for the Department of Veterans Affairs, the Chapter 31 program. So she's here today. We're grateful to have her here to talk about the many different VA updates that are out there. It's just kind of like there's just so many. So we are grateful that she's here to present. She is the expert. So Mauda, are you there?
Yes, thank you so much, Jessica,
Hi,
for the introduction. Hi.
Would you like us to run your slideshow?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So Andrew's gonna go ahead and run your slideshow. Just let him know when you would like to go to the next slide.
Okay, great. Thank you, Andrew. So as Jessica mentioned, my name is Mara Kazdan. I am a VA Vet Success on Campus counselor. I happen to be a VSOC at Citrus College and at Mount San Antonio College. Just recently, there's been quite a few updates with the VA, as you may have already received some updates via your email or text that the VA sends to veteran students. And next slide, please. So one of the updates that recently did occur was with the Remote Act, and that should be the next slide. Oh, I'm not seeing it. There you go. Thank you. So I'm sorry. So we'll cover the Remote Act update, the monthly enrollment verification, which you may already be aware of, and then the Isakson enroll any updates on that as well. Next slide, please. So the Responsible Education Mitigation Option and Technical Extension Act, or Remote Act, was signed into law by President Biden on December 21st, 2021. What it means is that previously there was the law where if courses that were transitioned from in-person to online due to COVID, you were still able to receive the monthly housing allowance, the post 9/11 rates. That did end on December 21st. However, with the Remote Act, it has been extended to June 1st of this year. Okay, so you can continue to attend classes that transition from in-person to online due to COVID and still receive the in-residence rate. It is important to note when you register for courses, some of the schools will include, make a note on there where you can identify which class has transitioned. Okay. As it indicates in the slide, students who were attending a course that was converted to online due to COVID were getting paid the residence rate, may continue to train online, and will continue to receive this resident rate until June 1st of 2022. Okay. Next slide, please. Now, a big one recently was now the monthly enrollment verification, and I will review the process. And I also included at the end of this portion the web link where the information was obtained, and that's available for you to look at the VA website. So the monthly enrollment verification started on or after for courses that began on December 17 of last year. And it is required for GI Bill students using the post 9/11 benefit at institutions of higher learning, IHL facilities. They are required to verify their monthly enrollment. You will need to inform the VA if you continue in the same courses or training every month. Students who receive the monthly housing allowance, MHA, or kicker payments will have their payment withheld if they do not verify or report that they are no longer enrolled on the courses or in the training program. Okay, next slide, please. So when does the enrollment verification start? As indicated, it started December 17 of last year. And for students that are attending non-college degree and NCD facilities, they started their monthly enrollment verification as of August 1st of 2021. Students attending the IHL facilities, it started December 17 of 2021. For all other students, including students at NCD or IHL's facilities who do not receive MHA kicker payments, they will be provided with more information before enrollment verification is applies to them. Okay, next slide. So how do you know if you're required to submit an enrollment verification? So IHL facilities, they usually have the associates, bachelor's, master's, PhD programs are typically 2 to 4 years. Other facilities that are NCDs are, for example, on the job training, apprenticeships, or flight. They are currently not required as of now to submit a monthly enrollment verification. Now, how do you verify your enrollment to the VA? There will be options that I will review. One option is opting into via text messages. As students using the post 9/11 GI Bill Chapter 33 will receive a message where a text message where they can opt into, and that message will include post 9/11 GI Bill housing and kicker payments now require monthly enrollment verifications. Would you like to submit yours via text? Reply yes or no. If you reply yes, you opt in for the text messages. This message will expire in 14 days after you receive it. So it is important that you respond within the time frame of 14 days. Once you verify your enrollment every month, simply by responding to the following text message from the VA. They will ask, did you remain enrolled in courses in the month, year as certified? Please reply yes or no. If you have dropped all of your courses, you must reply no. Okay. Reply yes to verify enrollment for the previous month. If you don't reply within 6 days, the conversation will expire and you will need to contact the education call center at the phone number listed there to verify your enrollment. And that's indicated on the next slide. Thank you. The VA does strongly recommend that you use a text message option to verify your enrollment. Another option is via email. If you opt out of the text messages, you can verify by text, or you do not have a current US phone number, you will be automatically enrolled in email verification at the email address on file with the VA. It is very important to update your contact information via eBenefits or va.gov. eBenefits will fade out, and the primary one will be va.gov. You may have noticed in correspondence from the VA that they are now referring to va.gov and not to eBenefits as much anymore. So note, for NCD students who previously opted out of text messages, verification will automatically be enrolled into email verification after January 15th of this year. After opting into the email verification, you will receive an email with the subject line, confirmation you've been enrolled into VA's email verification. On the last day of each month, you will receive an email, subject line, action required, verify your enrollment. Select yes, my enrollment is the same. After selecting your response, you will be taken to a confirmation page thanking you for verifying your enrollment. If you do not respond within 14 days, the link in your email will expire and you will need to contact the ECC to verify your enrollment. If your enrollment has changed, select no, my enrollment has changed. It is important to contact your school certifying official to ensure that they update your enrollment verification to the VA. Okay. Next slide, please. And if you are unable to verify via text or email, you will need to contact the ECC at the number listed, which is a GI Bill, and ask a representative to verify your enrollment. As I mentioned earlier, if enrollment is not completed for 2 consecutive months, a payment will be placed on hold. And in order for your payments to be released, again, you'll need to contact ECC to verify your enrollment. By regularly verifying, it helps to protect your GI Bill entitlement. Also very important, the reason that they started this enrollment verification for Chapter 33 GI Bill students is to help prevent an overpayment. There's been times when I have worked with veterans and they tell me, oh, I didn't receive my payment. I will, sometimes I would ask them, did you submit your enrollment certification to the school certifying official? Or sometimes we would receive the enrollment certification from the school and they withdrew. So now that created an overpayment to the veteran. So this is one of the reasons Chapter 33 has also implemented it, is to avoid overpayments. I know life happens. Sometimes we may forget to notify the school certifying official. I withdrew from my classes, and then you receive your payment on the 1st of the month and say, wait a minute, I got paid, but I withdrew from my classes. Oh, I forgot to notify the school certifying official. And now, unfortunately, there is an overpayment. And whenever you receive payment, of course, that deducts from your entitlement from Chapter 33. So hopefully by implementing this now, it helps to prevent those circumstances. Okay. The information obtained on the slide, I listed it on there. You can also find it under va.gov enrollment verification. Now, currently, this is not required for Montgomery GI Bill, which is an old GI Bill, Chapter 30, for the Vet Tech program, for DEA, VRAP, or the STEM scholarship. Currently, through Chapter 31, the Veteran Readiness and Employment Program, we haven't been notified that it's required of Chapter 31 students to submit a monthly enrollment verification. So as of now, it's not required for Chapter 31. They haven't notified us as of yet. Okay. Next slide, please. Now, Isakson Enroll, I did include the link on there. You can, if you go on to va.gov and type in Isakson Enroll Act Summaries, Education and Training, it will provide you it includes a lot of provisions on their items. And so it is a lot of information, but going through this website, you can see a summary of each one. So basically what it is that since the December 21st has now been extended to June 1st. Many of the items on the Isakson Enroll have also been extended to June 1st. Okay. Next slide, please. My contact information is listed there. If you have any questions, you can contact me. That is my direct telephone number, and then or via email. Any VA related questions, how do I apply to for a VA disability rating? I can review that process. How do I apply to VA healthcare, Chapter 31? I assist with comparing benefits. One big change also with the VA is if as of April of last year is veterans that are using Chapter 31, those months of entitlement are not deducted from the Chapter 33 benefit. Before, if a veteran used Chapter 31, those months will deduct from their GI Bill. But as of April of last year, the 31 months used do not deduct from Chapter 33. However, if you use your GI Bill for Chapter 33, those months will deduct from Chapter 31. For example, Chapter 33 provides 36 months of benefits, right? Chapter 31 provides an additional 12 months, which is total 48. If a veteran used their 36 months on their GI Bill post 9/11, and then they apply to Chapter 31, they would only have 12 months with Chapter 31. So now if a veteran uses Chapter 31 first, and has not utilized their GI Bill post 9/11, and they're entitled to Chapter 31, and they finished their training that has been approved, and now they're working, and they say, you know, I think I might go back for more education, then they would have their full 36 months of benefits with Chapter 33. So that was one big change that occurred last year with the VA. Okay. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Mhm.
You were saying about the VA was going to send some sort of email or text message reminding you to verify your program, correct?
Correct.
When would that start? Because I received an email, but I never received that text message that you're talking about.
It will be more than likely for you to have an option to either opt in via email. Unfortunately, we don't know when that notification will be sent out, but I would strongly recommend always keep a lookout via text or email of any notification that you receive from the VA.
Okay, well, yeah, that's why I'm asking, because I wanted to keep an eye on that, text
Yes.
message. But since I haven't received anything, sometimes you can't hear those text messages come through, So I just wanted to make sure if it would be best can I call the VA Education Center and ask them about that, so maybe they can inform me and give me some heads up and say, look, by this time frame, we're going to send you a text message. You need to reply, and such. That way I can be looking out for it. You know what I mean? Because I sure don't want to miss this text message. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
definitely. And that's why I highly recommend to make sure that you have your contact information, your most updated contact information on your VA record, to check e-benefits and va.gov. If the same login, if you have an ID.me or DS login or My Healthy Vet login, you can use one of those three to log on to va.gov. And pretty much what you were able to do through eBenefits, you can do through va.gov. Make sure your phone number is up to date and your email as well.
All right. Thank you.
Ulysses, if I may also add that's exactly what the VA has been providing in their campaign to all of us too, just to make sure that your contact information is current, because that's how they're going to get in touch with you. So just double check the number that's on file.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Not sure if there's any other questions in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. If anyone has a question, feel free to raise your hand. And then Mauda can answer your question.
Here I am. I'm sorry.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
No questions. Wow. Well, Mauda, that was a great presentation. Very informative. It does, bring us up to date and current with all the different laws and responsibilities that are out there for us. So really appreciate you being here today. And think anyone else, if you have any questions that come up after the webinar, Mauda was, great to provide her contact information. So reach out to her. Having a VSOC on campus is a huge advantage. So within LACCD, we do have one VSOC who is on, at LACCD College. So to have other VSOCs outside of LACCD reaching out to us to provide us that help, it's great. So reach out to Mauda if you have any questions.
Yes, thank you so much, Jessica, for the invitation as well. And as Jessica had mentioned, LACCD College has a VSOC, and his name is David Fierro. Right now, he is currently on detail. However, there is a VSOC, my coworker as well, who is assisting with covering David's cases. And let me just get that information. Happen to, for example, have David's contact information, he more than likely on his auto reply, he will has the who you may contact for LECC. Yes.
True.
Let's see.
We can add those contact numbers to our resource sheet that we send out next week. Thank you for that, Mauda. I see Trish has a question. Trish?
Yeah, actually, I have a question. Are the texts or emails are based on the student information on the va.gov website or also on VA1s? Because we actually enter the information on VA1s and we retrieve it from SIS that is not often updated. So those emails and texts are being sent to students based on whatever is on the va.gov information or whatever is on the certification.
It would more than likely be through va.gov.
Okay. Yeah, because we noticed that we try to contact students often and whatever is on SIS hasn't been updated. And we often get incorrect phone numbers or no longer working.
Yes, it more than likely would be the one that is listed on their VA record, the one that the student veteran included on for their VA information.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Great question, Trish. Yeah. And I mean, while we're on that note,
Thank you.
yeah, and on that note, just be sure that within LACCD, your contact information is accurate and up to date, and always check your LACCD student emails. Any important information coming from financial aid or any other departments will always go through your student accounts and not your personal. So be sure to be checking that account.
Yes, and actually, my coworker who is assisting cover for Los Angeles City College, her name is Kilandra Anthony, and she included her contact information on the chat.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Kilandra.
You're welcome. Hello, everyone.
Hi there. Thanks for being here today. Okay, any other questions? Well, thank you so much, Mauda, for joining us today and making the presentation. We really appreciate your support. So thank you so much. We are at 11:53. So are there any questions out there that have anything to do with any other segments of our webinar? You can go ahead and raise your hand and we can take those questions. Okay, none. So I guess at this point, thanks, Alceo. At this point, I would just like to say on behalf of our school certifying officials at each of our 9 campuses, our veterans counselors at each of our 9 campuses, as well as our VRC directors and veteran services directors, we just want to thank you. Thank you, as I mentioned earlier, for your service. Thanks for your trust in the service we provide to you. And just thanks for being here today. So we want to wish you a great rest of the winter session if you're taking any classes, and of course, wish you the best of luck for spring 22. Let us know if you need us. We're here for you. So thank you. Our VRC partners, if you're here, can you stay on, please? Thanks. Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, hi, Sal.
Hey.
Sal is our ELAC disability specialist. He works